All right, today's class is super easy and it's super short. We literally have one slide. So one slide, it's super short, okay? This is essentially talking about a Muslim's relationship with his relatives or their relatives, right? So talking about silat al-rahim, which is the ties of kinship. That's what that translates to. And so, of course, in Islam, the way that relatives and kinships are viewed, it's a very important thing to maintain. So we talked about having good relationships with your parents, having good relationships with your spouse, with your kids, right? What it means to be a good parent. Now we're moving up to your extended relatives. And this is anybody that's blood related to you, either through your mother or your father's side. And so in Islam, the primary focus here is that you should never cut off any of your relatives. There is no reason that you should be cutting anyone off. People will say like, oh, I have toxic family members, I have this and that. You are allowed to create separation between you and those family members, right? You don't have to be in their face, but you can't fully cut off anyone else. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasizes the importance of maintaining ties with your family because He first talks about worshiping Him, then He talks about worshiping your parents, and then He brings up maintaining the ties of kinship. So that's how serious it is in Islam. Sorry, I'm sorry. Did I say that? I apologize. No, I meant to say worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being kind to your parents, and keeping ties of kinship. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you for catching that. I didn't mean that at all. No, sorry. That was definitely not intended. Sister Eman's losing it. Sorry, guys. No. That was obviously not. That's not what I meant. And so when it talks about the benefits of maintaining ties of kinship, right, it's important to understand that actually when you go out of your way to maintain ties with your family, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases your life in provision and blessings. So He'll bless you more, He'll increase your provision. And the opposite is true too. So if you're disrespectful to your family members or you cut off family ties, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also decrease the blessings from your life. So it's very important to maintain those relationships. And there's a hadith that says that those who break the ties of kinship will not enter paradise. So this includes your own personal relationship with your relatives, and also if you are encouraging people to break off ties of kinship. So be very, very careful, right? And then there was even a Sahaba, I think it was Abu Huraira, radiallahu anhu, who actually used to refuse to make dua if he knew that there was somebody in the group that wasn't maintaining ties with the relatives, because he said that could block our dua from being answered. So there was a time where he was sitting and he got up and he said, if anyone here is not maintaining good relations with their family, I need you to leave because I don't want to make dua with you here. He said it 3 times, and then eventually a guy got up and went to his aunt that he had kind of cut off and he had not been keeping good ties with, and he told her what happened. So that's how serious it is, how delicate it is. So even your dua might be blocked. So be careful with that. Make sure you're reaching out to your family members. And when you do that as a Muslim, you're rewarded in 2 ways. Obviously, you're rewarded for maintaining the relationship, but it's also considered a form of charity. So you're rewarded twice. So if you can, it doesn't have to be money, but if you can spend money on your family, by all means do it, right? Go out of your way, a little gift here or there, or even just to visit, right? It's a form of charity as well. And then this is also important to recognize that this applies even if your relatives are not Muslim. So a lot of the Sahaba, right, when they converted to Islam, a lot of their family members did not convert. And some of them were angry about their transition and all of that stuff. So even then, they are responsible for maintaining the ties with your family. So even if your parents are non-Muslim or your cousins are not Muslim, you still maintain family ties. So I think we were kind of talking about the holidays a little bit in class today, right? And I think Sheikh Shams has also said in the past, like, it's okay to be there and to be a part of them. You're not necessarily engaging in like the religious aspects of the celebrations, but if your family has certain traditions or certain gatherings that they do, participate to the extent that you can. Obviously, don't engage in any ritual practices, but be there with your family, maintain those relationships. And subhanAllah, in a way too, for the revert community, this is a form of da'wah as well. Sometimes your family members might be confused by why you chose to convert and things like that, but just showing them that this good character that my religion teaches me, regardless of what your religion is, I still have to respect you, I still have to treat you with kindness. That's a really beautiful thing. And so I don't know if you're seeing a pattern here, but essentially the idea is that the Muslim has a good character and is kind and on good terms with everybody to the extent that they can be. So that's essentially what we're talking about. And so as a Muslim, we understand that responsibility. We understand. You have a question? I actually have a mic this time. So now that we can actually hear you, I'm actually wrapping up anyway, so if you have something you want to say, here. All right.
I just
you just talk into it, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to get too deep, take it too much time, but my mother, when I reverted to Islam, originally she was very kind of neutral on it, and then I guess later on she realized the view or punishment for homosexuality, and she's very liberal, you know, kind of all that stuff, and she essentially disowned me. And and then now I'm living with my father, and but I have put boundaries in place with my mother, but I haven't cut her off. And my father has kind of in certain ways encouraged me once I'm 18 to kind of cut my mother off. But the thing is I've already forgiven her for that because one, she's my mother.
Absolutely.
But two, if I spend so much time worrying, oh, my mom did this or wronged me this way, and I let that take over my heart, my heart would be corrupted. I'll be off my deen. Right. And the next thing you know, I'm not praying, I'm not fasting, it snowballs.
Absolutely.
And so no matter what, I'm not gonna cut off my mother. Yes, there are limitations, boundaries. I'm not gonna cut her off because she's still very important. And so, and my father is not Muslim, so it's a little more difficult for him to understand the kind of deal of not cutting them off.
Yeah.
But another thing I kind of want to say, I guess, is that it feels like because of course they're non-Muslim, they don't really understand the how deep forgiveness can go.
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of what I want to say is that basically the overall point is that it can be difficult for non-Muslims to understand the not cutting off kin even if they have wronged you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. That's obviously very difficult.
It's okay. Alhamdulillah, I've gotten through it, and me and my mother have kind of rebuilt our relationship in good ways, and so
yeah,
we've gotten through a lot of that. Alhamdulillah.
It's good, alhamdulillah. And I think that the key takeaway for that too is that you're also showing your mom that maybe we have a difference in opinion or we have a difference in lifestyle, but I'm always going to treat you with love. You're my mom at the end of the day. And again, remember we talked about this. I think you were here when we talked about how it's like your mother than your mother, right? It's a very important person in your life. So yeah, as much as you can maintain that, I would recommend maintaining it. And hopefully, you've heard the saying, kill them with kindness. It's essentially the best thing you can do. But inshallah, Allah will reward you for your efforts, even if your mom's not receptive to it or anyone in your family is not receptive. The idea is that we are not rewarded for the result. Allah's not looking for results or perfection from us. He's looking for the effort. So inshallah, if you make the effort, you'll get rewarded. You have something, Amin? Yeah, I know, but it helps so that we can hear you guys. Because before we couldn't hear anybody. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm the only Muslim and I'm the mom. So my whole thing is reversed. Crazy part of it is I was talking to my daughters this last couple of weeks, and I asked them, do you prefer the old me or the new me? That was a quick answer from all of them, the new you. So it's rebuilt the relationship. We did not have a bad relationship before, but we weren't close like a family. We were a Western society kind of family. Do as you want to do. Whatever. Hang out, whatever. But being, responsible to say good morning to your mom or texting them, have a nice day, or acknowledging them when they walk in the door from a hard day's work. Family means a lot. And toxic sometimes depends on what do you mean, what's your
Definition of toxic,
what is your idea of toxic? What is your norm of toxic? So sometimes it's a trigger that you may be triggering yourself on something that has happened in the past. So society today with families is you got to be close. And if you cut off a family member because you don't ideally agree with them, then that's not a good thing. It's a hardship on both the wife and the spouse or the husband. It's a hardship on the family member. But once you come to grips with what your idea of toxic or triggers, you can really grow from the root problem to a better problem that can be a blessing in the future. And that's what my children seen. Though they're not kids anymore, they're grown adults by many years. Yeah. But they see a better me today than they have ever seen in the past.
Yeah.
Well, the way I see it too is...
Wait, let me give you the microphone. We need to hear what you're going to say.
The way I see it too is that cutting off a family member is like cutting off part of your own soul.
No, I was going to say, yes.
Hear your comment.
I understand the focus mainly on relatives.
Yes.
And from religion to religion and cultures to culture, relatives there are people, different types of people within different boundaries. Like in the Middle East, cousins are relatives, like very close family considered. Even like third cousins, fourth cousins are considered family. But in the West, we have immediate family, mom, dad, or the word would be like what the dependents, pretty much are considered family. So yeah, keep that also in mind. But also at the same time, one more thing I want to say is we as a ummah are also a family. So like the sister mentioned the hadith that we should not cut out each other, specifically the believers. If you if they're sisters, brothers, whoever, if you get in a conflict or disagreement or things, differences or anything get in between you guys, there's an authentic hadith. I can't recall it verbatim, but that should not exceed 3 days. And after 3 days, I'm not sure. Forgot. You can correct me. What would be the
consequence.
consequences?
That's a good, I don't remember, but I do remember it was maximum of 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days, and I think your worship is not accepted or something. Yes, so keep that in mind. Doesn't matter how bad that person is or you think that person is, but if you get in kind of the conflict with them and it exceeds 3 days, you are in loss. Not the other person might be too, but you yourself, because after that, beyond 3 days, you're scratching your ibadah, your worship and everything. So that's what kind of like make us as a ummah thrive forward and prosper more in unity and in unison, and as well as in togetherness and everything, because those are the pretty much the commands that we have in place to keep us more close and more aware from the differences in
Closer to our goal.
our goal. Yes, yeah, to being ummah, to being the family. Sorry, that's all I was.
I would like to
Jazakallah
ask
khair. Yeah, go
just
for
really
it.
quick,
No, please do.
inshallah.
Please do. I appreciate it.
Inshallah. Like he said, when you study really successful people, right? One of the things I learned was ego doesn't help you.
Yeah.
Ego, you have to really kill it. And it's about forgetting your ego, putting aside your ego, destroying your ego, and focusing on the goal. So if your goal is to get to Jannah and your ego is not allowing you to forgive someone, you better destroy it, because after those 3 days or whatever scenario, you might start losing the goal, Your goal is the goal. The goal is Jannah. Allah said, forgive, 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 especially if they're believers. So step on your ego, no matter how hard it hurts. The goal is more important, inshallah.
Absolutely. Inshallah. It's great advice. Anybody else?
Oh, wait, what is risk?
Rizq is provision. So rizq is anything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides you. So this could be money, it could be, your health, it could be food, clothing.
Shelter,
Yeah. Even sometimes,
essential.
what'd you say?
Essential.
Yeah, anything. Also, it could be anything like marriage is rizq as well. Things like that. So yeah, that's it. So it's the more you keep up with your family, inshallah, the more Allah will bless you and give you more rizq.
I think that's a good thing she pointed out. So we Muslims, we know what risk is.
But we should put translation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We'll do.
brackets probably.
I'll do that in the future. Anything else? All right, خلاص, then I'll close closing dua. All right. سبحان الله وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.